Hi, hi. This is Trey, and you're listening to my channel, Trey's Myths and Tunes. And tonight, I just thought it might be amusing to tell a story about a simple night at the laundromat in midtown Santa Cruz that occurred several nights ago. Well, it was last night. Actually, last night. Seems like several nights ago now. It was so I had such a long and decent day today. So I'm doing my laundry, and a couple normal kind of thing. A couple of Hispanics who won't say anything to me. I try to smile and be polite, and then I see a dark skinned man, perhaps African American mixed with Nephilim, perhaps 7'5". I couldn't tell what he was talking on a cell phone or two from meth residue, mumbling. I tried to make silly comments and joke around and be friendly, but especially because this song came on. And when I think my time is almost past, that's when I'm sure I'm gonna be okay at last. And especially even in a cursed place like the blessed, loving Santa Cruz. And I'm about to fall on my ass 'cause I feel like I've been walking like I was walking on broken glass. Walking on, walking on broken glass. Walking on broken glass. Feel like I'm gonna slip on my ass, but I fall like a kitty cat. Every time my palm lands where there's no fucking broken shards, and I'm so lucky I'm not dead or getting stitches at the hospital. 'Cause I was walking on broken glass. And then who came in right after that, after this song was playing? Who could it have been but Christopher Robin, the man who told me he was going to buy me a van when his inheritance came, and then he was saying he's going to buy some land in Northern California and we could build an intentional community and grow weed. And he had locked his keys in his van. So to say something on his benefit, on his extreme promises, he did give me several $100 bills and several 20s and some weed since he got his inheritance, but that was it. Anyway, so he called me an enlightened master, and about a hundred times he told me he was going to give me $3,000 when he got his inheritance. So, but it ended up being 300. I'm okay with that. I said it's better to be true to the word a little tiny bit or a little bit than none. Anyway, so I tried to. He said he didn't have his reading glasses, so he couldn't use his cell phone to dial AAA. So I tried to find AAA. I found AAA dialing the Google on his cell phone, but then it wouldn't let me press the right. It wouldn't let me dial the. It was crazy. It was really, again, the reason why I'm telling the story is because he's a crazy raging alcoholic with a big heart, a Irish Native American, and really loving man. And but he would turn himself into the hospital because he's in his mid 60s and his alcoholism is so bad. Well, that's his excuse, but he would turn himself into the Dominican, and he told me they sent him a letter saying that they gave him the COVID-19 vaccination while he was passed out, and he asked me if he should sue them, and I said I don't know, but anyway, so lo and behold, this is of course after the populations have set in, of course, and the self-replicating colonies had set in, of course, and because that was a year ago or whatever. So he's sitting in there, and I could not get it to dial the AA guy or the AAA people to come get his keys out. And so I handed him the phone back because he told me he was going to give me some money, and I barely had enough money to get the bus home and get my food, and I was probably not going to have enough money for food just to do my laundry. So anyway, I was hoping he was going to give me some more money, and to be honest, and but my spirit guides warned me about this guy because see, one of the reasons why he called me an enlightened master in my theory is that he is aware that he's possessed by these interdimensional narcissistic parasite entities, and particularly because he's an alcoholic, pretty raging alcoholic. I don't know, but his mom was a raging alcoholic too, and he's actually really polite most of the time. But this is the first time I ever saw too much of the violent side in him. But like, what happened is I was gonna complain about how I barely got any people watching my YouTube videos since the Yahweh, but then when I had made a video in the motel room that I had gotten the night after he promised me he was going to get me a motel, it was the second time he said we're going to get a motel together. And the first time, I don't think I went to meet him, and he claimed later he was there, but I didn't see him, and he didn't meet me. And I tried to ask him for his phone number, and he said I don't do that. And so then the second time he met me, and he wanted to meet at like 11 a.m. So I did, and it was like pretty early for me to get out of here. So I got there at 11 a.m. and you know what? I made a video about that, and that one got probably 100 views or whatever. He started drinking beer, and then he hit his vapor pen, and then all of a sudden the Zeta or the whatever interdimensional parasite entities they were, but I call it the narcissistic predator entity spirit, just kind of took a hold of him, and all of a sudden he's a really loving man and nurturing and everything, and then all of a sudden he didn't care. All of a sudden he's just like he said, well, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. So you know what I did? I said, you know what, Chris is a loving man, and I really he's a really good natured guy with a big heart, and he's really nice, but this spirit is not, and so then I probably saw him once or twice after that, hanging out with some crazy people in the seating area of the health food store there, drinking beer and smoking weed with them and giving them money and stuff. And he called me the boogeyman. So this time at the laundromat last night, like I was gonna tell him complain about my YouTube little mini me about the numbers, and he looked at me and he goes, "Look, man, if you want to hang out with me, don't ever bring up the past. Stay in the now. Stay in the now moment, man." And like when he said, "Don't ever bring up the past," like I could see that. Oh, I could just see that. If I had gotten the motel room with him, the Mr. Hyde, he's got the Virgo rising, the Mr. Hyde and the moon, the Cancer, and the, oh man, just, it's so intense that he's born the day before my brother. He's a really good natured guy, but I don't really know him. Let's put it that way. So, especially that he's an alcoholic, trusting him to buy me a van, and then he told me he bought me the van, but then he lost it or some shit. I don't know. I actually told the guy, I think you just want to have the feeling of what it would be like to give me $3,000 in the van, or $1,000 in the van is one thing he said, and I was like, but last night it was like it was actually the first time that I encountered that this with him, that because it's between the time when he was claiming that when he was saying he was gonna get a motel room with me that last time, he kind of like just acted like I didn't exist, or like he'd look at me and he'd say smile and say hi or make a joke, but he wouldn't try to give me money that much. A few times he gave me a little money. At one point, he told me he's going to give me money every time he saw me when he was saying I'm an enlightened master. But it might have been because I complained to this tweaker busker there about that I don't like the spirit of booze or the alcohol spirits. But I love Chris, and anyway, I told him the same thing. But anyway, so then when he's like last night when he was like, don't talk about the past, stay in the now, and I thought about the shamanic recapitulation, soul retrieval process, and all that, and how important it is to reframe the past, present, and future into the now moment to get real. And I was thinking, well, you're really not. You're too stressed out, and for my for me to be able to share any wisdom. Plus, he's 20 years older than me in linear time. But anyway, so he kind of just left out of there. And I felt sad that I couldn't call AAA for him, but for some reason, again, I think it was alien interface interference that caused it to not work. But what do you think? So it was just a weird, another night just doing my laundry in Santa Cruz, and it's like, but it had to be him, and it was almost like he came back here to get me the van and the community. But it was like when I saw the extent of dealing with these, the monster AI infested nanobot encrusted version of the predator narcissist spirit, which he already had, probably due to the alcohol. And on the surface he's a really loving guy, but he's very insecure, and that the generosity, and this is where I came up also, I noticed the narcissistic hero, or the hero narcissist with the narcissistic predator entities, this common theme that it's just something I've got to let go of. This hero that has the covert narcissistic thing, and but this guy was just crawling with this monstrous, gnarly, narcissistic, parasitic entity in his ego structure. And it was very difficult to. And actually, I think he actually almost wanted to punch me just because I was going to mention the past. But I mean, if I had locked my keys in my car, I'd be really irritated too. But the thing is with him, and I think it's due to the infestation of his fourth dimensional astral body with these demons. Probably due mostly due to alcohol, or also other issues. It's like he has little drama. He has many traumas. He has, let's say, he has trauma bonding to the booze, or the astral parasites related to booze, causing him to, and the Santa Cruz curse, causing him to have stupid little drama things happen like about almost every day. So it's like, I'm sorry, brother, but I'll just have to accept the $300 you've given me. You did the best you could to help me, and I love you, my brother, but it's just like I can't really participate in this international game of sleeper agents, or whatever you want to call it, or it's milder than that, but still, it's the second time I felt like somebody was about to punch me who took it. So Give a comment if you have any experiences similar, and subscribe if you thought this was a funny story, and enjoy your life.